And we're getting right in that match now with, two previous legend. Well, actually, every single player in this legend tournament has
Every
won the legend
single person.
title before. So these are going to be some top tier games, but Diligent against TARS here.
Oh, get excited, folks. Yeah, that's pretty big when you got a whole tournament of legends. And that's fantastic. I actually can't remember the last time that we had that, if that has ever happened before. Diligent, quick to slam down an Oliver, one of the few favorite first pick monsters from the last season.
Yeah, I think on the ladder we didn't see that these players picking or favoring Oliver as much. But I think in a tournament setting, when you're fighting players that have such high rune quality, that little bit extra higher speed lead makes all the difference. So not surprised to see Diligent first picking Oliver here. What I'm a bit more surprised to see is TARS pre-banning a Deva Raja.
Yeah, that was a little surprising to me too. I didn't know if that was some sort of like secret tech for this matchup, or if maybe he's just saying, "Yeah, bring whatever, as long as it's not a big damage source for me or something like that." Jogun making an appearance. We talked about this guy on stream today, Topa.
Yeah, we did. Jogan. There was a comment in chat saying that Jogan was, the Jogan meta, and at this top level, I think he's definitely performing a lot or better than like even lower end of G3 because it requires such high rune quality. But these players do have that rune quality to make it work, and TARS coming with a full LD draft here.
And with some real interesting picks, including the Dark Yuji, or the Dark Exorcist Association Fighter, if I remember his original name correctly. He's recently got some changes that have maybe made him more favorable for TARS. So that what do you think of what TARS has brought to the table here, man?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't expecting this. That is a lot of LDs coming out of TARS, and yeah, the Jack is a pretty nice monster there. But I don't think there's enough speed on the side of TARS, though. Only picking the one speed in the volume does get it through. But I believe Diligent will still be taking turn one here, and will probably be able to just take control of this match right off the bat.
Yeah, look at that. Look at that speed. Jogun ready and waiting to put the Wool Young in the bag, as it would be if it were, it's like Irene's been putting people in bags all season.
What? And why is TARS not using the Tianlang skill to here? That is very surprising. Also, does miss that buff remove on the Laura there. Also, maybe a slightly questionable bag, as you said, or scroll on turn one there. Because now when the volume comes out of the scroll, she's going to be full attack bar and be able to be ready to get a heal off right away.
Yeah, she'll be able to do a little something. We'll see if it's enough to turn the tables here, especially with Oliver procking like that. Oh my god, Zoe, thank you so much for the raid. Welcome, everybody, to the Legend Tournament for Season 33. Welcome, folks in chat. Thank you for that.
Yeah, fair enough. It won't make a difference here. There's just too much damage on the side of Diligent, and R's team is going to be mostly in the ground before this volume can now come back and maybe do a little bit. But I think it's too little too late here, Evan.
Yeah, she takes down one, but how much of an advantage can this Wool Young keep here for TARS? Let's find out if she's able to do that again before the end of this. I doubt it, to be honest. This is why TARS is probably thankful for a best of 5, but maybe I'm calling it a little bit early, especially with Oliver feeding into the Tianlang here.
Yeah, again, a very surprising draft coming out of TARS here. Maybe he wasn't expecting to be in the tournament tonight either, and it's just, having a little happy show first match here against Diligent. And we'll see if he picks maybe a bit more serious, because this draft did seem a bit suspicious to me here.
Yeah, a little bit. As fun as an LD5 draft is, it's also not particularly meta. Some of the best units of the season, outside of things like outstanding Giannas, etc., are mostly just standard elements, right, Sofa?
Yeah, I mean, you could definitely make a full LD draft work, but yeah, I think you do need to complement those units with some RGB units as well to make them really shine.
Yeah, big time. It's like when you're looking at play rates, etc., win rates, like some of the best monsters out there are water, wind, fire. So we'll see what he brings in the next one, though. I really would love to see something like that pop off for TARS, because, I mean, that's a full content draft as far as I'm concerned. It's pretty exciting. We got one win in favor of Diligent here. Let's see if he can carry the advantage on and get a 3-0.
Yeah, as you mentioned, these are best of 5s, so there is still a lot of room for TARS to make a comeback here, and Diligent, can't let up this aggression. But we'll see what the pre-bans come out. Because again, once again, like that pre-ban even coming out from TARS feels a bit questionable.
Yeah, Devaraja, not exactly a high priority pre-ban. The Tion
Whoa.
lying on both sides. Dude, Topa, I'm having flashbacks to 2018 where Molong was double pre-banned. Like I swear I've seen this before.
Yeah, the color has shifted a little bit to a bit more paler here, but now we see TARS first picking a Vanessa, so not going full LD this time at least.
Yeah, he's taking it a little serious. He's taking the weights off here. Diligent picking the sisters together, Ciara and Gianna, so that way he can detonate the bombs they both put on. But the Dark Yuji is a mainstay for TARS, apparently.
Yeah, I do really like this unit. Since that buff, getting that self-attack buff, it can definitely do a lot of damage, and it can get permanent skill 3 off, which means permanent endure and permanent attack buff. So technically, if the opponent doesn't bring any sort of CC or buff remover, you can never kill this unit. But obviously, at this level, you're going to be bringing these Giannas and CRs, even the bombs that are going to be stunning. So Yuji might not be able to do as much when Diligent is bringing this much speed to the table.
This is also a cute little combo that TARS is presenting here with the Shizuka, who's got more than enough buffs to take advantage of with that skill 3. Like, she can put Endure on everyone, put Invincibility from Shiho, and I haven't even mentioned the bombs that she could throw out there.
Yeah, I do like the Shizuka pick here. The one weakness of Shizuka, or main weakness of Shizuka, is that her skill 3 has a long cooldown, and you cannot use that skill 2 on yourself anymore to lower the cooldown. But Diligence not bringing any sort of resetters, so that Shizuka, if it gets that one violent proc out of the CC, out of the stun, she is going to be turning the tide of the battle here for sure.
Okay, the bans are out. Vanessa's gone. Yanhong is gone. So TARS wants to deny any sustain options here. So Diligent's only option is to get some early kills. Just prioritize that. Now, unfortunately, the Shizuka can bring back, like you mentioned, the Dark Yuji to do something kind of resembling like a late game snipe. So let's see what happens here. Turn 1 in favor of Diligent. No game point yet.
Yeah, no surprise there, the Diligent taking turn 1. He really has to make this turn 1 count here, because as you mentioned, there are no heals on his side, and if he misses a couple of things, but so far he's landed everything, so it's looking good for him. But and there goes that Shizuka, so he is in full control of this game here.
Great prioritization, because that was kind of the way the game could spiral out of control for him. There's not even a need to detonate those things, to be honest. You can just kind of let him take a natural turn if you're so inclined. Look at that. Diligent making it look easy at the Legend Tournament, getting a second win right out the gate there. That was pretty fast.
Yeah, that was extremely fast. I don't think TARS took a single turn there, so Diligent just definitely not letting his foot off the gas, and what a dominant performance that we'll see if he can keep it up in round 3. But TARS now, he adapted a little bit, not going for the full LD, but still, only picking one speed lead. It got banned there, and then we saw how the rest of the match played out there.
Yeah, it's practically yielding that first turn, right? So we'll see if this continues in favor of Diligent, or if TARS will end up putting another fight again. TARS has actually got a lot of history at the Legend Tournament. He's also got an SWC win under his belt, so, Diligent making it look easy. That's a high praise to Diligent.
Absolutely. Same goes for Diligent, right? He does have an SWC win. He does have a previous Legend Tournament wins, so these are some two stacked players here, historically speaking, at least. And now TARS pre-banned the Yanhong, and maybe now going for a little bit more speed here.
Yeah, let's see if TARS gets his head in the game. Maybe he wants to do. He's changing it up every time. I'll give him that.
Yeah, Diligent is also doing the same. Diligent now drafting Silver and the Light Gojo for double speed leads there, but TARS also now picking up the double speed lead and another fast unit, so might have a chance here.
Yeah, and folks in chat, by the way, I'd love to hear who y'all are rooting for. Drop it in chat. Who do you think is going to be this season's legend? Who do you want to be this season's legend? Would love to see who you're rooting for. Diligent, last 2 picks here, brings a Gianna and is kind of acting a little hesitant about this 5th pick slot. He's having to dig deeper into the box maybe, and goes for a Woonsa.
Yeah, I was just about to mention that I think this last pick needs to be some high base speed contest unit here. And we were kind of dogging on TARS game 1 draft being full LD, but Diligent's full LD draft is looking pretty good. Although, once again, or similarly to TARS, I think it is susceptible to being outsped here and just controlled by TARS.
Yeah, and now it's completely shifted, like you said. You know, we got the LD only and the RGB on the other side. This time, the bans have to, exactly, they have to be on the starters, right? For a game at this level?
For sure. You know, Diligent does have the higher speed here into 33, but he is 15 base speed behind this Water Monkey here, so no surprise that the Water Monkey takes turn 1, and if he gets this done, he does, the Jogun should follow up, which it does.
Puts it in the bag. Just like Irene. Here comes, does he get the full team strip? We got one res on Gianna, of all things. Can he clean this up? Oh, of course he does. Yeah, that's a pretty easy snipe for the Fire Megami. He procs into getting nothing on the Zeratul.
Oh, no, and absolutely nothing on the Zeratul, and that might be the game right there, Evan. You know, that is tough one to come back from.
Dude, oh my goodness, that hurts. All that setup, all for what, man? Ciara just to miss the bomb. That's a tale as old as time. To me.
Yeah, that's just brutal to see, you know. Now TARS did like everything in his power to take that turn 1, but then sometimes when you do that, you just don't have enough impact on that turn 1, right? We saw that here, you know, he was able to get that stun, he was able to get the AoE strip. I mean, obviously was very unlucky to miss that bomb there. But even if the bomb lands and he takes out the Zeratul here, Diligent still had, you know, the immunity coming up, and this Gianna, which is now stunned again, so maybe he can keep this Gianna down, and would have been fine if that bomb landed by last, I guess. We won't know.
Yeah, we'll see if he gets another opportunity to do this. Actually, Shiho getting a turn here is exactly what he needed, but the res, the stun. See, this is where it gets a little more complicated, because Zeratul, one proc means that he's never going to land that bomb again, basically.
Yeah, Shiho, you know, definitely doing a great job here. Well, besides missing that stun there on skill 3, but makes up with that massive skill 2, getting the full team stun, and you know, TARS is still looking pretty good, even though and then there's the violent proc from Diligent once again getting up the immunity, and this match is so back and forth here, Evan.
It is. Every time that I think TARS has a chance to kind of sneak in there and make something impactful happen, Diligent is already got immunity up. You know, it's like now all of a sudden there's a bunch of awkward turns. Jogun's going to try to strip it. It's all on Shiho, but if there's one thing I believe in, it's a Shiho comeback.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, you know, this was, yeah, as he mentioned, it's like every time TARS gets a little bit of a chance, Diligent gets a little bit of RNG on his side, whether it's a resist or a violent proc, and it just seems to put TARS back in the hole. But looks like TARS will actually edge out a victory here.
It does, unless he's got that one turn of invincibility. Can he actually do anything with it?
That steal was huge there, but it's not enough. Oh my god, and another violent proc to seal the deal.
Just skill 1 this thing, right? You just skill 1 at this point. Oh yeah, Dave.
It doesn't matter.
There you go.
Yeah, anything is going to kill it. Aside from skill 2, you just don't want to be using that skill 2 as it does no damage.
You just don't want to grant immunity. You just don't want to give yourself immunity.
Yeah.
3-0. Well done, Diligent.